What's going on, guys? Apathetic here. Today I'm going to cover some Titan tips that can take your Titan gameplay to the next level. And for this video, I'm not going to focus on a specific subclass for Titan, but instead focus on tips that can be used on whatever subclass you prefer. Let's get into it. Tip number one for your Titan is learning when to use your class ability, and this starts with making sure we are using Towering Barricade anytime we are playing PvP. The utilization of the Titan class ability is one of my favorite things about the Titan class. You can use the barricade to lock down a point, lock down heavy, or buy yourself some time to get your health back and back into an engagement. But what we don't want to do is use it aimlessly. You never want to be that Titan that's just popping your barricade out of panic, because you're just going to end up dying anyway and waste the charge for your barricade. Instead, you want to use it tactfully. What I mean by this is if you're fighting an enemy and you decide you want to pop your barricade, it's rarely a good idea to pop it with your back against a wall. When you pop your barricade with your back against the wall, guess what? Now the only way you can get out is straight ahead, and your enemy will be just staring down at you or chipping away your shield because they know you have nowhere to go. You always want to use your barricade when you got some room around you, and you can use your barricade to buy you time to get away. Now, the other way we can utilize the barricade is offensively. We can pop our barricade and use it to peek shot. And what peek shotting is, for those of you that don't know, is you pop your barricade. Now you can pop in and out of it to take shots, but as your enemy shoots back, you're going right back behind cover. This is especially useful with the Titan barricade since it's a form of cover we can actually walk straight through. This really allows us to take our peek shotting game to the next level and our survivability. Tip 2 for Titans is not to overuse your jump. So somewhat similar to Warlock, and if the jump is not used correctly, Titans have a very floaty jump. So for starters, you want to be using strafe lift for your jump because this will keep your movement as horizontal as possible and allows us to move the quickest. This also keeps us from being an easy floating target when fighting our enemies, and also allows us to get away quickly if needed. Now, the thing you really want to be careful with when using Titan is whenever you're engaging an enemy, I found it's beneficial to jump or skate as little as possible. What I found is in those engagements, it's very easy to mess up your skate, and what happens when you do that is you end up just floating up a little too high or a little too far. It can throw off your aim or make you an easy target. So basically do the opposite of what we want to use the jump for. So we want to use the strafe lift to get around the map, but as you get close to engagements, focus more on your sprinting and sliding and keep those boots on the ground. Tip 3, and this is a big one, guys, and that's using shoulder charge wisely. So one of the coolest things about Titans is their shoulder charge ability and the ability to one-shot your opponents. There's no question it is a powerful ability when used tactfully. What I mean by this is we want to make sure that shoulder charge is being used to enhance our game and not become the foundation of our play style. What happens when shoulder charge is someone's main way of playing is they literally just become mindless shoulder charging Titan. They will just turn corners with no regard of how many players on their side, and as long as they get that one kill with a shoulder charge, it's all good. They don't care if they die right after. And this is an extremely inefficient way to play because it simply results in either a lot of trades or we just look dumb as we run straight ahead at people only to get gunned down. Now, the way we can actually maximize the utility of shoulder charge is not to think of it as only a way to kill someone, but more as a tool to improve our movement on Titan. Shoulder charge is incredibly useful for making a quick getaway from your opponents or quickly changing directions during engagement to create some misdirection. So how can we do this? How we do this is when you're running at your opponents, you sprint towards someone like you're going one way, then you can quickly aim to the left or to the right, or even if you're on PC, you can sometimes do a 360, press your shoulder charge, and then you're going to shoot in the other direction. This method of changing directions super quickly can really easily disorient your opponents, and it buys us that extra time to get that first shot on our opponents. Tip 4 for Titan is be aware of what cooldowns are active while you're in engagements and abuse them. Titan has a good amount of passive cooldowns that can allow you to do extra damage when procced, such as an ability like Knockout on Bottom Tree Striker, or breaking enemy shields, increases your melee range and damage. So if I see my knockout cooldown in the left hand corner of my screen, I'm going to be beating people down like crazy, because I know my range is longer and I know that knockout is going to be a nice increase to damage. So I'm going to be able to really have the upper hand when it comes to those close range battles with my opponents. So being hyper aware of these cooldowns and abusing them can really be the difference with Titan, and can be the difference between winning one engagement or winning multiple engagements back to back. It's because of cooldowns like this on Titan that makes Titan so lethal in PvP. It really makes it easier to go on those long, satisfying kill streaks. Tip 5, and my last tip, is use pulse grenades. And if you've seen my Warlock video, I talk about this in that video as well. But I find it even more important with Titan because I feel a lot of people overhype lightning grenades. Now, don't get me wrong, lightning grenades are still great, but they don't have nearly as much utility as pulse grenades. Pulse grenades can not only destroy barricades, but also damage our opponents at the same time, but it keeps people off of points or heavy, or it can hold your enemy back just a little bit longer to keep them from pushing you. Well, wow, with lightning grenades, if you try to use that same method, they can just easily be shot off the wall and the enemy's gonna push right towards you. So if you use lightning grenades, I totally understand, but you're maybe underestimating the utility of pulse grenades. And because they pulse for so long and do so much damage, again, it just increases that utility because it just locks down so many different areas of the map. That's it for the video, guys. And remember, if you're looking to take your Titan gameplay to the next level, use your barricade tactfully. Don't overuse your jump. Use shoulder charge to enhance your movement and not dominate your playstyle. Be aware of and abuse your ability cooldowns. And lastly, use those pulse grenades for their all-around utility. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
And this battle is yours. Zone A lost. Welcome victory. Lead. Zone A captured. Captured Zone B. You have advanced. Keep the pressure on. Your advantage grows. Stay strong.